So I want the audience to know. So some know who Christopher
Yeah, right,
is.
Tony. I'm
Right,
glad you paused that conversation
right. I want
because
you to pause. I want
this
everybody.
podcast and many of us that that engage with you, Tony, on this podcast knows the story of Christopher Shaw, which is the gentleman, the 40-something-year-old gentleman that was dumped on his head by a Beaumont police officer while in Jefferson County's corrections custody. And so, um, Candace, I'm hearing this correct, the same gentleman that he was allegedly advocating for, um, which is Christopher Shaw, who is also in pictures with Bishop Barber, with Michael Cooper, and other groups and organizations that we had gathered that particular day to expose the atrocity that we found out of what was going on, including Christopher Shaw's legal representatives. They also were there. And so what you're saying is that Ricky Jason um, wanted to get a documentary, tell Christopher Shaw's story, however that case may have, however that may have looked to Ricky Jason, and proposed it to Christopher Shaw. Christopher Shaw rejected, and Ricky Jason then turns and says, as the advocate that he is supposed to be, mind you, well, I'll expose you to the district attorney's office. I'll expose everything you're saying and or everything you're doing to the judge that's presiding over your case. I'll expose you to the Jefferson County Sheriff's office about whatever, something that could have possibly been fabricated. Because mind you, at this particular time, Christopher Shaw was already in the courts, already under what we would consider under oath, because that was already an ongoing case. Right. And not to mention, Candace, how was he going to be able to do a documentary? And Christopher Shaw is under a gag order by the same bench that that put a gag order on him. He can't speak to the public and he can't speak to the media.
Let me correct you on
now pick up Candace.